Hello, ladies, gents. Okay, so taking up the homework for dividing by powers of 10 less than 1. Same thing, I've done just a snapshot of the homework to keep this more efficient for your time. Okay, so I took a look at 1H where they were getting you to divide different numbers by powers of 10 greater than 1, by 1, and by powers of 10 less than 1, just so you can get the pattern of seeing what happens to all of it. So if I'm dividing by powers of 10 greater than 1, this gets smaller. So this gets smaller by a power of 100, so 2 decimal places, so 1, 2. By power of, gets smaller by a power of 10 by 1 decimal place, so it just goes from there to there. So 1 spot. Dividing by 1 doesn't change at all. Now if we divide by powers of 10 less than 1, it's getting 10 times larger. So 1 decimal place larger, 2 decimal places larger, 3 decimal places larger. Okay? And that's, again, the whole idea behind dividing by powers of 10 less than 1. You're actually making it larger. I did 3 from question 3. I did G for you. So it said, what did you divide by to get 0.00345 to be 0.345? So we see that it got once, twice. So it got 100 times larger in there, which means we divided by a power of 10 less than 1 by 2 decimal places, so 0.01. Okay. I took a look at 4G for you. So they're saying what number up here divided by 0.1 gives us that. So if we're dividing by 0.1, that means that this answer has just been made 10 times larger. So this would have to be 10 times smaller. So the decimal went from there to there. And that's what we have here, okay? So this is 10 times smaller. For 6F, this is like the last examples that we did in the lesson. So they gave us 211.4 divided by 0.07. So first thing, I'm going to put both of these as fractions. So that over 1, and then 7 over 1, 2, 3 zeros over 1,000. Take the reciprocal of this, flip it over, and then multiply. So it's now 1,000 over 7. So 211.4 times 1,000. So the decimal was there, then 1, 2, 3 spots over, and 1 times 7 is 7. Okay. Then I know it seems silly, but run that through the calculator. And you're saying, well, why didn't I just run that through the calculator? In real life, yes, you would. For the sake of showing your work and the logic of how this all happens, show the steps. And then you get that as your final answer, 30,200. Okay, number 7 said they give us a rectangle. And they said it has an area of 15.5 centimeters. And then they gave us a bunch of widths, 10 centimeters, 1 centimeter, 0.1 centimeters, 0.01 centimeters, and 0.001 centimeters. And they said, find the length, and then the perimeter. Okay, so first we took a width of 10 centimeters. And because this is area, I put down the area formula. Area is equal to length times width. And I replaced the variables with what I know. They gave us area, it's 15.5. We don't know length, that was what we're trying to find, and in this case the width was 10, so I filled in 10. So then looking at this like an algebra problem. So if you kind of pretend that you have that, so just 15.5 over length times 10, we want length by itself. So if it's being multiplied by 10, we're going to do the opposite. We divide by 10, and then we divide by 10 over here. Length times 10 divided by 10 leaves us with just length. And then 15.5 divided by 10, well, it's going to get 1 power of 10 smaller, so 1 decimal place smaller, 1.55. Same thing with here, except width is now 1 centimeters, so 15 is the area, don't know length, width is 1. Divide both of them by 1, the length is 15.5. Now we're getting widths that are less than 1. So fill in the width of less than 1, divide both sides by less than 1. 15.5 divided by 0.1. This is like multiplying it by 10. It's going to get 1 power of 10 bigger. So that gives us 155. With this one, when the width is 0.01, and we jump down to the division, this is going to be like making 15.5 100, or 2 decimal places larger. So it gives us 1,550. And this one is going to be like multiplying 15.5 by 1,000. So we get 15,500. Okay, and then it asked for perimeter. So perimeter formula. For a rectangle, you have 2 lengths and 2 widths. And remember, for perimeter, we're just doing length plus width plus length plus width. So short form, it's 2 lengths plus 2 widths, okay? Or length times 2 and width times 2 and add them together. So I did the perimeter for A and for E, again, just for a snapshot. So filled in the length for A was 1.55 and the width was 10. So replaced L and W. 2 times 1.55 is 3.1. 2 times 10 is 20. Add them together, 23.1. Same thing for E, except I'm using that as my width and that as my length. Multiplied by 2 is 31,000. Multiplied by 2 is 0.002. Add them together 31,000, 0.002 centimeters. Okay? Hopefully that works. Again, if there's something else that you want to see or that you need a hand with, message me in Google Classroom and we'll take a look at it. Okay, bye for now.